Good luck with that.
We are back live. Sometimes technology is so good, so automated that when you don't hit a button properly, the automation bites you in the butt. So my bad. We're gonna go ahead and wrap up though. We just want to formally wrap up and say goodbye. But I think we can remember that last comment. Do you remember that last comment I
Yeah.
read? Go ahead, share it.
Yeah. So, what is the likelihood that Steve Wilkes brings in Smitty as an offensive consultant?
Why would he need to? That's my question. Why would why would you need to bring in Steve Smith as an offensive consultant? This guy is a dynamic player that I feel like a consultant from the standpoint of wide receivers, or I mean, I'm sure he can talk about the game. I just don't see that something that Steve likes to do and really embraces the. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. Just doesn't seem like that would be a fit for him.
It seems pretty far fetched, and then the other aspect of it too. I mean, he seems like he has a pretty good gig with the NFL Network, so I don't see him leaving that to come back over here. I mean, it would have to be a bigger role than that for him to even consider doing something of that sort. But yeah, I just don't see it happening. The
You know,
likelihood is pretty low the way that I see it.
I think consultants have a pretty low role in terms of how much time they're there versus the coaches. So I think the consultant has a possibility, but I just see Steve as a guy that just he loves calling his own shots, man, and just kind of living
Yep.
his life the way it is right now. I feel like he's just enjoying it and doesn't want to have to do something else too much. That's just my 2 cents of an opinion, my independent opinion, may I add, in case I am wrong
Right.
about that.
Got to
So
add the disclaimer there, right?
gotta be honest and upfront with you guys. So hey, last week we did a lot of interviews with players. I think I got Chenault, J.C. Horn, and one other guy, Deontay Foreman, was on the brink of getting Jeremy Chin, but they said, "All right, time's up. Got to get out the locker room." So if you all are liking that, please let me know in the comments. Next up for the Carolina Panthers are Seattle. I was trying to say
Man, you're
former
thinking of the
Seattle.
Seattle trip already.
That's former Seattle Seahawk quarterback Russell Wilson, who's now the quarterback for the Denver Broncos. Should I say it? Should I say it? Rematch of Super Bowl 50?
Sure, in a sense. I mean, I don't think we can hype it up like that because both teams are not doing particularly well. But I guess we could say that to try to spark some interest.
Hey, that's what the headlines could be. Just how bad these teams have gotten since Super Bowl 50. We
Super
could
Bowl
do that,
50.
right?
Yeah, I mean, they've both fallen off pretty bad.
And
I
I,
mean, I
I
must
think
say,
we've still been the worst of the two, right?
eh, it's up there. That's for sure. It is up there. But Denver's dealing with their problems too. They're still trying to solidify that quarterback spot. And who knows if Russell Wilson's the guy? I can't believe that I'm saying it this far into the season, but is he that guy for Denver? Who really knows?
Man, you just got to think. Could you be an NFL owner, Andre, in the sense of you put people in charge to run your business because you know the inner workings is not your specialty, but you love the game and you got the billions of dollars to do so, right?
Yeah.
And then you probably already had the stomach that you're letting guys write checks. I mean, you might have to approve, but I would think you can't approve every deal because that would just drive. That's not your job, right?
Right.
But can you imagine just knowing out your bank account is coming like $1 million a week, $2 million a week to pay a guy like Russell Wilson, and you go to the game and you're just like,
It's like, what are we doing, man?
I just paid this guy $2 million for that 3 hours of that, and I can't get my money back. $2 million for 3 to 4 hours of that. Could you imagine being an owner like that?
Not non-refundable too. That's the other part of it. You cannot get that money back. It's set in stone. I mean, there's probably some ways you could get that money back, but regardless of the point, that money is gone in the blink of an eye.
Yeah,
Regardless of how good that player or how good or how bad that player may have played.
I guess owners in the NBA have it worse because all of their contracts are guaranteed.
Yeah.
NFL, we're now getting to, where the superstars still aren't fully guaranteed, but they get a good portion guaranteed. But man, the NBA, gosh, dealing with a guy like Kyrie Irving, whether
Oh
you
man.
you like what he's doing or don't like what he's doing, the fact that the decisions that he's making means he's missing games, and sometimes he's been paid, sometimes he hasn't been paid. Ben Simmons, I think he's kind of, I don't know if he's playing right now. I don't follow the NBA too closely.
He scored a season high 20 points whenever they played last. I mean, they're moving their way up, but that team is a headache by itself,
Hey, so
regardless of whatever it may be.
Andre, are things so bad? We're now Charlotte Vibe. This is now your total sports talk show. We just gotta talk about everything. We can't
Hey,
spend
well,
the whole time talking about the Panthers.
hey, they call us multi-talented for a reason. Hey, they call you the man of the people for a reason, right? We got all bases covered.
We try.
We try, right?
Anything
We
you
try
want to
to
talk
do
about
at
before we
least.
get out of here?
I guess I'll just piggyback off of that comment that Steve Wilkes had, in that last clip that you played. I think, when you hear what he said there, I mean, you feel it. I know I felt it, like, in reference to, what happened with Shy Smith. Like, the bluntness, the directness with Steve Wilkes. I feel like that's something that we haven't had here in quite some time, and I think the guys, in the locker room, they respect that. And I think that's part of the reason why he's getting a lot of consideration moving forward as being the permanent head coach for the Carolina Panthers. So I think, he's continuing to make his impact. He's continuing to really uh, do some good things with this team. I mean, I know the record doesn't indicate that, but there's some positives that you can take away from his tenure so far. So it'll be interesting to see how things shape up moving forward. It'll be interesting to see how they respond after a performance like that against the Ravens, see how they respond when they play Denver coming up here on Sunday. And it will be interesting to see how the week goes and how they respond in practice as well. So I know, Chris, you will be there throughout the week just to see how the team
Nope,
responds.
I ain't
And
going. It's Thanksgiving week, man. I'm just gonna get
oh
fat.
yeah,
Gonna put on
it's a
some
holiday.
pounds.
It's a holiday week. What am I saying? But regardless of the fact, yeah, it is a holiday week. Thanksgiving's coming up, so for all of you out there, let me just say this: Happy Thanksgiving to the Charlotte Vibe family. You've been supportive. You have been awesome over these past couple of weeks, and we thank you for all your support for giving Chris and I the opportunity to cover the Carolina Panthers and to do what we love to do.
God of Blackness with a timely hit the like button, family. So again, this video was
Yes.
just the tail end. I accidentally hit the wrong button, cut us off, and we appreciate you all taking the time. So we want to formally say goodbye, which we will go ahead and continue to do at this point. So for Andre Cassidy, who I want to switch the screens, man. I'm supposed to be on your side. I'm
Right?
gonna figure it out and switch it back. But for Andre Cassidy, I'm Chris Jenkins for Charlotte Vibe, covering the Carolina Panthers. Thank you all for watching. Have a good night until we see you again.
Take care, everybody.